It's a mix between a pink and a purple of color in there. And I'm going to put that on these flowers. So I'm going to go, I may need a smaller brush. Got to get one that kind of fits those petals, because there's a full flower and then there's just some little petals around. Okay, I'm going to pick up a little bit of painting medium on my brush. Then I'm going to run it through the purple mix. Let me move my brushes here. Maybe I can get it over here a little bit where you can see a little better. Get my palette over here. I'm going to run it through this purple mix up here just a little bit, and then I'm just going to touch it over into the white. Put a little bit of white on it and just pull down. Now this brush makes me a stroke that just pulls. I'm going to put a big one on here and show you how this brush, it just makes a stroke that's rounded just like a flower petal. See how it comes down? It just pulls right straight down. See if I got a bigger brush here. Okay, here's a large brush of the same kind. Get this over here and I'll make a petal on it. If you just use it exactly the way the brush is made, if you just lay it down, it's rounded on the end, and then I just pull and lift. This makes a perfect thing for daisies. See how that makes a perfect little teardrop there? That's the brush. The brush is rounded on the end, and when you pull it and come down, it makes a perfect little teardrop when you turn it on the end. And that's what I'm going to do to these petals. Okay, but I got to go back down to my smaller one as soon as I see what I've done with it. Well, I ate my brush. I laid one down, picked the other one up, and now I lost it. Okay, that's my bigger one. Okay, girls, I'm all right. I'm all here. I'm just not all right, I guess, because I can't see where I put my brush. Huh. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, we'll try this one. I had a little one, and I don't know where I done with it. Let's see if I dropped it. Didn't drop it. I give up. Okay, now I'm going to pick up a little bit of paint. All right, laying right under my nose, girls. Somebody should have said, "Hey, Judy, there's your brush. You set it on your palette." And I did, Debbie. See, you all can see better than I can. And I'm sitting here. Okay. I'm going to run it through the pink color. Little touch, and then just touch over in the white. Just a little bit. Then I'm just going to go right in here on a petal. I'm going to touch down that petal and pull it in. See right there? I just touched down. It's very hard for you to see. I'll have to put the whole flower on probably before you can really see it. I'm just touching that, and that is raised, so it's easy to know where my flowers are at because they are raised up off of her coat. Each time I'm picking up paint and just going in on that petal, laying it down and pulling it to the center. And I've got the purple and a little touch of white, so it'll have a little mix of color there. When I get this one on, I'll show you. Just touch and pull. Now see, I put that little one right there. Went all the way around and the petals is already there. So I'm going to go right on with my others. I'm going to do each one of them like that. And some of them has just got little petals laying out here by themselves. Sometimes my color will be more on the red side or the more on the purpley side, and sometimes they'll be more of the white because I'm picking up different color each time. I'm picking up both paints. So one may be more prominent than the other. That'll dry very quickly. It's good when you're painting something that's already got the pattern on for you. And when you buy these bunnies that's already painted, you have to kind of go with the pattern that's on them. You just enhance them a little bit, turn them into your own. So I'm just going right around those petals. It's really hard to see the change until you get it just about done, and then you can see what you've done. In fact, this is a good way to learn, girls, because if you buy you some that's already done like this, and start with them instead of trying to start with one that's just plain and you got to put all the pattern on, you're better off with something like this to begin with. I went into Home Goods this week to see if they had any left, and their Home Goods didn't have any. Like I said, we have so many tourists here that things get out of our stores real quick. I went to Knoxville today, but I didn't try to shop any. I was in a hurry. I had to go to Children's Hospital today, and so I tried to just go and get back. Okay. And it's down where Tennessee University's at, where UT's at, so it's crowded down in there in town, because it's right where the university is. I don't like to go to Knoxville. If I make an appointment, I make it early in the morning. I'm not real early, because you get the morning traffic, you get stuck, and if you get the evening traffic, you get stuck. So you have to go midday. You go about 10 o'clock, you can get in and out of Knoxville without much problem. Otherwise, you're going to sit in traffic. And I don't like that. Okay, hey Nancy. You're glad not the only one could lose something. I lose it. You see, it was right in my face. Same way you're doing something, I walk from the kitchen and think I'm going to go in my laundry room is kind of a laundry room and a pantry. So I head into the laundry room to get something, you know, when I'm cooking or something, and then I get to the door and I think, what did I come in here for? You got to backtrack, head back to the kitchen, and when you get just about there, you think, oh, now I remember. That's what happens as you get older. You have to laugh at getting old and things. You have to laugh. That's what I always tell the doctor when I go in. My doctor, I love my primary care doctor. He's so great. Such a great person. And we're always joking and kidding around. And so I'm always telling him a story. And I think his mother's about my age, so... Okay, I'm coming right on around. See, now you can tell them. See, you can see the flowers on there. Looks like I've painted each one freehand, but they're already raised up and they're already on there. So I didn't have to do nothing but paint them. I think this one was only like $9, $8.99 or something like that. It wasn't very much. But I bought, that day I went to TJ Maxx, I bought $200 and some worth of rabbits. Joe picked up some wood today. He's going to make me some trays. That tray I made the other day that we painted on in the other class, I'm going to do some different sizes of them. Trays are good for me, and I like to do them. So we're going to do a 12-inch square. A 14-inch square tray with the handles, and we're going to do a that one I done was 12 by 15, and I'm going to do a round one, about a 15-inch round. So he picked up lumber today. Simple, simple, simple. I'm just working my way right around that piece. As you get old, girls, if you didn't have a sense of humor, you're hurting. So if you're young and you're headed that way, you better learn to laugh at it. If you're not laughing, you'll be crying. We have a good time at church, all the ladies. Most of us are older ladies. We're all about the same age, and it's fun when we all get together. We had one lady, bless her heart, she's in nursing home now, she used to be our pianist for years. And her favorite thing to do when we had our ladies' meetings was tell your most embarrassing things that ever happened to you. Boy, she could tell some doozies. She was a school teacher in her younger days, and she didn't care a bit to tell you things that happened to her. She'd say, now let's talk and let's tell our most embarrassing moments. Things we've done. Some of them you just want to hide. Very, very simple, girls. Very, very simple. See how pretty they are? When they dry, I will go back in and put a little bit of a center in them. But we'll let them dry while we're doing these boots. We're going to put a little bit of checks on her hat, on her armbands. Just pretty this little lady up a little. Okay, now see, I went all the way around her, went all the way around the tail of her coat. See? Looks good. Now, I'm going to clean that brush. No, the coat, I didn't paint anything, Peggy, but the boots. The coat, everything was this color. This lavender was all on here, and her boots were green, this color green here. And I painted her boots because I'm going to do them, I'm going to paint the boots black and then put black and white checks around the top and around the bottom, paint the bottom black. So I'm going to go down to a small brush. I'm going to use a small flat brush, and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to put little black checks right around the top of her boots. There's an indentation there in the top of the boot. So I'm going to go right around that indentation and put me some little checks around her boots. Don't have to measure them or nothing because that's not that important. These little projects are real quick. My granddaughter's been latching on to she wanted rabbits to decorate with, so she's been, comes to the house and I like that one, I like that one, so. My oldest granddaughter. Okay, I'm gonna work my way right on around her boots. Really, there's no wrong way to do these kind because you just choose as you go along. You think, well, I'm just going to paint this a different color, and you know, if you're going to put flowers on it or you're going to put polka dots on it or whatever you're going to put on it, and let the colors that's on it just work for you. And I'm going to go down to the bottom here and paint around the sole of her shoe because I'm going to paint her shoes all black. So I'm going to make the sole black and white checked. I have to get my rabbit painted you bought 3 weeks ago. I've got a whole slew of them, Pam, that I've got left. I'm just going to store them till next year because I'm tired of painting rabbits now. After a while, the holiday, you know, you start in January painting Easter stuff. By the time Easter gets here, you're sick of it. Just like Christmas. We start in August or September doing Christmas things. By the time Christmas rolls around, you're sick of looking at it. But that's what you have to do if you're selling. You got to stay ahead of it. Just like Hobby Lobby puts their Christmas stuff out in August, you got to have yours ready to go if you're selling. Because that's when people start buying. As soon as school starts, then they start buying holiday stuff. Then I've got one bottom, one shoe on the bottom. Got to go around here and do the other one now. Come back around here on this one. Start over here. around this way and meet it in the other direction. I like the new chicken things, the new designs, the chickens. And a lot of people decorate. I do a lot of things with chickens on them for my shop. Okay, now I went all the way around the bottom of her boots. Now I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to jump up here and put a little stripe around the cuff of her sleeves, around her coat sleeve here. I'm going to come right here, put a few little checks. Got a wild hair there. Okay, now I gotta go over here and put one or two right here in this little spot because you barely can see them. I'm just gonna put one there because you can't really see much of her hand. Is down in that basket there, so you really can't see much of her sleeve. Now I'm gonna go around her hood up here. Turn her so I keep my fingers out of it. Go right up here and go around her hood. Her bonnet that goes up around her head, I'm gonna put some checks around that. We did a real pretty tray in my private class this week too. Okay. Hey Cindy, Eileen, it was already pink. Yeah, I think I answered that. It's kind of it's between a pink and purple. It's more like a lavender than it is pink. More like a lavender shade. Leaning on that a little bit. I think I need, I think I'll put a row of these checks right here at the top. There's an indentation there where the bottom of her coat is, going down into the flower. So I'm going to go around that with a row of checks too. I'll start right over here at the edge and go right around it. I got too much paint on my brush. Turn her any way that's comfortable for you. Don't put yourself in a strain when you're trying to paint something unless it's something big and you can't turn it. Then turn it whatever direction you need to be comfortable with it. I will just spray this one. It already has a finish on the girl, so when this one's done, I will just take my Rust-Oleum clear spray, the shiny, and that's what I'll put the varnish. That's what I'll varnish it with. I won't fool with trying to brush a varnish on this piece. The pieces that are designed like this are real hard to brush on and get everything covered, so it's a whole lot easier to spray it. See? Thank you, Peggy. I appreciate that you like that too. Okay. Okay. Now see how cute she is. Now I'm going to go back and put a little bit of a center in her flowers, and I think I will just take my stylist and put some little black, just little dots in the center of her flower, in the center of the flowers. Just put 2 or 3 little dots in the center of each one to put a center in the flowers. Just the ones that are full flowers. This class is going to be really, really quick. I think I'll be back on tomorrow at 1, girls. I'll post that tonight or in the morning, but that's what my plans are. I was going to do Wednesday too, but then I got a call today for have to be out on Wednesday. Okay, now I put little dots down in those flowers. Okay, now let's see what else. I'm going to paint her shoes, go in among those, between those lines down here where I've got the shoes. I'm going to paint that solid black in there. So I'm going to go to a flat brush, and I'm going to come, and the sole and the top is indented, so I'm going right underneath that where that is indented. There's an indentation there that gives you a guide to go by, so you can follow that around. You don't have to worry about getting it straight or nothing, because you just follow that right on around. It's already there. I don't think it's ever going to get warm and stay here. My granddaughter, the youngest one, likes to garden. So she's been after me to get plants for weeks. She's been saying, let's get some plants, let's get some plants. So I promised her this weekend, if it's warm enough, we can get tomatoes and stuff. So I hope our weather gets warm enough to where we can plant them and not have any problems with them. We don't plant but like 2 tomato plants and a cucumber or 2, and but she loves doing that. Okay, now we're going to go right on down and paint the boot. Turn it to where it's comfortable for me and get down here where I'm getting right down around the sole of the shoe. Coming around the sole. And there is an indentation there too for me to follow. When I was in, when I went to Home Goods this week, they had a couple of bunnies, but they were just about like what I had, but they did have a couple of cute small ones. And I thought, well, I'll have to leave them till next year, so I didn't get them. I just left them. I was looking for something real unusual. Last year I got some really neat ones at Ross's, but this year I either missed them, didn't go in and see them, or I was too late to get them. These are made, the ones that we get from Hobby Lobby that are the ones that we do all the checks on, they are not very sturdy. They bust, they break so easy. Those are the ones I have such trouble shipping. And the middle one I sell for $100, and it got broke. And I had to replace that one. And then the smaller ones are $50 with the shipping, and I've replaced hers the first time, and now I'm going to have to replace it again. So I've shipped, she bought 2 the first time, and one of them was broke when they got there. Then I shipped her a replacement for that one, and it was broke too. And I wrap them and bubble wrap and and then sometimes it happens. It's just crazy. And you can file a claim, but it's very hard because they make it hard for you deliberately. The person has to take the thing to the post office, and they have to go through inspection and do all this stuff, and it's just a long, drawn-out process. If it's something real expensive, I do that, but otherwise I just have to eat the cost. Write that off as a tax write-off. I'm going to do black here, and then I'm going to put polka dots in that black. We don't have very many on tonight. Just a few. I can't be here. A lot of people want to, you know, be online every day. I can't do that. I have too much going on to be online every day. And I don't worry about the numbers of people. I worry about the ones I got, because I've got some good followers. And but I don't worry about how much it grows. If it grows this week, it does. If it don't, it don't. It's not. I'm not into it to make money from Facebook. I sell product, and I do my private class, and do my Etsy shop. So I can't. There's no way I can be on every day. Almost got her shoes. I am going to try to make some YouTube videos. I'm not skilled enough to clean up the ones that I've got. We've got too much chit-chat and I talk too much in them, so I'm going to have to make some that are just, what is that across there? Really? Do any of the other shoppers take better care? Do any of the other shoppers, do you mean, who asked me that question? By shoppers, it's not the shopper that's causing the problem, it's the shipper. Is that what you're asking me, the shipper? Is any of Debbie, is that you asking any of the shippers? And no, they don't. They expect you to pack them to withstand a 6-foot drop. And some things are so fragile, like those rabbits. Let me show you one of these that I'm talking about. These are really, these are hollow inside. See these big rabbits and things? These are hollow inside. If I would bang that foot right there on that table, it'd pop that foot right off. They're very, very fragile. Those ears, I could just take my hand and pop that ear right off. Now these are solid. These kind that are made out of this are real solid, and they don't break easy. But this one breaks. If I just was turn here and hit it on that rail right there and hit it on it, it'd take his ear off. So they are so fragile that it's so hard to get them packed to where that you can't. I have to buy special boxes to ship those rabbits in. I pay about $2.50 for a box. Then I have to buy all this bubble wrap and all this stuff, and no matter how much I try, they still sometimes get broke. Now those cake plates, like I did that cake plate, just painted that, those glass cake plates, when I ship something like that, that cake set weighs probably about 10 pounds, 8 to 10 pounds. And when I ship that, I ship a box in a box. And it's not cheap to ship it. That cake plate will cost probably $30, $35 shipping just to get it shipped to where it's at. And if it goes cross country, it may be even more than that. But when I ship something like that that's real fragile glass, I put the cake plate in a box. The ones I have came in a box, so I kept those. Then I put that box down in another box with all the packing around it. And so far, I've never had any of those to get broke. But now, all of them, and even if you ship, you don't have that many shipping. We have UPS and FedEx, and USPS is all we have. And I ship Pirate Ship outside of Etsy, but that still goes. Pirate Ship is connected with United States Postal Service, so you're still shipping with the Postal Service when you use Pirate Ship. Okay, now I'm going to reinforce those pink in her, here in her ears. I want that to be a little stronger. So I'm going to take me a little bit. This is gooseberry pink, and I'm going to put out just a dot, and I'm going to take my flat brush and put me a little bit of paint, a little bit of painting medium on it, and a little bit of the pink on the left edge, like we usually do. Blend it on my palette. Then I'm going to go in here and just pull that right up through her ear so that I make that stronger in her ear. It's still kind of a pinky color. I'm just strengthening it some. And stay with the shape of the ear. Do the both of them. So it's kind of a oval up through there. Just makes the color a little bit stronger in there. Makes them show up a little better. Sometimes you might want to put checks in that ear. Sometimes we put checks in there, but that's awful small. See how much that pulled that out? Made it pop out a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to put, let's see here. Her buttons are already painted. See what else I can do to her. I think I will paint one of her eggs. Let's, okay, there's some little flowers. There's a little stripe around one of the eggs, and one of them has polka dots. So let's go back in here, and that little stripe is pink. Let me find me a color that goes with that pink. Let's get this same shade we put on the flowers here, and go across this egg. Put one stripe across that egg, because it's got a stripe across it. That's the way the pattern is. So I put a little stripe across that egg. Now there's a yellow one there, and it has got polka dots on it. So I'm going to go back in with a small wood handle. Get me a brush here that's got a little tiny wood handle on it, wood round, and I'm going to go back in and put some dots. Put some little polka dots on that one. Just to put a little color on the eggs. See, I put polka dots on one and put a stripe on one. Okay, now let's see what else I can do. I can highlight this basket just a tad by picking up just a shade. Let's try some white and see if it highlights some of the things in that basket a little bit. Yeah, and I just got my finger in the paint. So let's wash that off. Put my finger right down in that. Okay, I need a little bit of white. I'm going to load one corner of that white, and I'm going to go in and just hit the edges, the top of some of those strokes on that basket to just strengthen the highlight a little bit. Just make it stand out a little. Same way with the way the thing turns on the top. Just hit a few of them in spots, just to strengthen your colors a little. Just make them, see how I hit just a few of those little things, just to pull them out a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to put a little bit of color in under her nose. For her mouth, I'm going to take my liner brush and put a little bit of black right there in her mouth. A little, just a teeny tiny little touch there. Come right down. Okay. Okay, I think we've got about all that we can do. Let's go back and put some dots on our boots. I'm going to use white. Now when you're doing dots, you really need, if you're doing polka dots, you need to have some good fresh paint to go in a puddle of paint. If you go in a puddle that's been sitting there a while, it may not work for you. You can give it a try. But if you just put out a little bitty touch of new paint, then I'm going to go down here and just take my brush, touch it in my paint, put some polka dots on her boots. Just scatter them around. See, that makes a world of difference in her boots. See, one I've got polka dotted and one I don't. That just makes them pop. When all else fails, polka dots are a good thing. You can make them with everything from Q-tips to, you know, you can pencil erasers according to what size you want them. If they're small, I like using just the wood end of the brush. Now those you have to be careful not to get your hands in. Okay, so I think I have her done. See? She's pretty. She's a cutie. And I will just spray her when she's all finished. I'll just spray her. She already has little dot eyes. I'm not going to do nothing to her eyes and nothing to her face and nothing else to her. So she's done, girls. Set her right down here and see if I've got any questions. I've got anything that I can answer for you. I don't see any new ones. Okay. Love the rabbit. I hope you've enjoyed it, girls. It's been a short class. We've been 45 minutes. We could have been with Craft around the clock. She's ready for the Easter parade. That's exactly right. She'll go in the parade. Let's see what else I've got. I got another one over here that's real cute. We might paint him this week. This one's real cute. See how pretty he is? Now see, this is the way he come. His hat, let's see how much he was. See if he's got a price on him. He was $12.99. Which is not a bad price. And he's got green pants, pink, blue bow tie, and he's got pink and green on his hat. So you could just change those colors. And they don't, when they paint them, they don't paint them very well. So, they've got the pink and green up here is on his ears. So you may have to go back in and redo the white a little bit. But you could paint his hat black and white, make his hat black and put white stripes around it. And you could paint his egg a different color. I might do him later in the week. Put some checks or something on his coat, or check his pants and put some flowers or something on his coat. Paint his lapel. Here, there's lots of little things, and you're just changing some pinstripes on his jacket, or some, just something simple. And it just takes them up a notch. See, that's a cute little set. And this one is, like I said, these are well made. They're made in China, naturally. But they're very well made, better than those from Hobby Lobby, because those from Hobby Lobby are hollow inside. And like I said, they're very, very fragile. And let's see what else I've got sitting around here. I'll show you another one. Okay, this one. I've got this little guy on a teapot. See how pretty he is? He's on the teapot. You paint his teapot and then paint the bunny. I'd leave the bunny. He's white and you can feel his fur, so I wouldn't do anything to him. Paint his hat, paint his egg, do something to the teapot on this one. Let's see if I've got another one here handy. I'll show you another one. I don't see any more over here on it. Oh, here's one. This is a gnome. See, I bought this one at the same time, and I can do him after Easter. This is a gnome. I got him. All these came from TJ Maxx. This one was $12.99. He's got an umbrella. You could check. You could leave it yellow. You don't have to change that color. You can do the checks. You could do his hat in checks or stripes on his coat, and put flowers or something on his hat, or just check around this, around the edges here. Check these and leave that yellow. Paint his boots a different color. He was $12.99. So these are all, and your TJ Maxx might still have some, so you can check and see if you've got TJ Maxx in your area. You may still. That day I went in there, they had a table full of them, and I went nuts. So, and I've got them sitting everywhere. But what I have left after Easter, I've got a great big gnome over here. Let me get him for you and show you. See how pretty this one is? A big one. This one was 17, and this is a big one. So the gnome's really, of course, he's got eggs in his basket, but he wouldn't be hard. I'd put a little bit of color in his beard, and then do something to his coat and his pants, just either checks or dots. Polka dot his boots probably, because his boots are already black, and then put some checks around the edges of this, or and strengthen his ears a little. Not a whole lot of painting, because I don't want to paint the whole thing. Okay, so there's that one. I've got them sitting everywhere. So what I have left, I will pack away till next year. I've got pumpkins packed. At the end of the season last year, pumpkins went on sale for almost nothing. Our Hobby Lobby had a bunch of them left. So I bought pumpkins. I've got cases. I've got boxes of these. This is them real pretty pumpkins I like to paint in the fall. And they're normally $12.99, and then they go down to 40% off. Well, I got them for like $2 a piece at the end of the fall season, so I bought a whole slew of them. And I love to do these. I love to paint them. And you can paint them in so many different designs, and I sell a lot of them. Okay, girls, I think I'm done for the evening. I hope you've enjoyed chatting and painting just a little bit. Wasn't much of a class, but it was a little bit and got us on here. If you've got any questions in there that I haven't answered, I'll go back and check them, see what it is. Thanks for the hearts, girls, and I appreciate you sharing it out. If I'm not on a day and if you watch a video that's already on there, if you turn it on, you don't have to sit in front of it and watch it. But if you turn it on and let it play, that helps the algorithm. That keeps me up in the algorithm on Facebook. They do that. It's your watch time. It's not how many watches you, it's the watch time. If somebody comes on your video and they stay 2 seconds, that's 2 seconds. They just click on and click back out. But if somebody takes the time to let it play, that pushes you up in the algorithm, pushes the crafters up. So any of them that you like and you want to continue to see them, to see them pop up, then play their videos and, play the things of all of us that you like and want to watch. Okay, girls, I'm out of here. I'm going to go rest a while and probably do some computer work. Okay? I hope you have a good evening, and I'll catch you tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow about 1 o'clock.